Hey, everybody. Happy end of July. I can't even believe that I'm saying that, but I am so excited for August to begin, and we have lots of exciting, fun things happening. So make sure you grab a notebook. You're going to want to write down all of the exciting things to come and all the ways to track and earn and prizes and new contests and all the things. So think of this. I know July is actually our beginning of the year, but just think of this. If you haven't gotten started yet, go ahead and think of this as your fresh start where we start over for the new year and really get on track. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to go over is today is the 29th. So we have, let's see, 2 days left of the month. Yep. So tomorrow, the rest of today, tomorrow, and Thursday. And so there's still time if you haven't gotten your order in. So the first and foremost thing is that the new recognition from Mary Kay, and let me see if I can get this pulled up for you. But the new recognition from Mary Kay for the 600 Club is actually a consistency club now. Okay, so you can no longer earn the prize with just a $600 order. In 1 month, they actually want to start to see some consistency. And so what that's going to look like is doing the 600 Club in 2 months. So you're going to do it in both July and August. And I know some of you are tracking this. I'm not sure if it's going to let me, let's see if it'll let me pull it up so you can see the prize. Let's see here. So you'll want to do it for 2 months. That's how you get the consistency prize. And then it's going to start over again the next month. Oh, let's see if it will. It's crooked. It'll start over the next quarter, and you'll be able to do it again. Oh, come on. Okay, it's not going to let me pull it up. Well, it'll let me pull it up sideways. So let's try that, which is a little silly. Nope, it's not going to let me change it. Okay, so you can turn your head and look at this. This is the consistency prize that you can earn with the $600 club. So July and August, when you do 600 wholesale in both of those months, you are going to earn the adorable Mary Kay branded earrings. So it's a little 4-pack of earrings. And then you're also going to get 400 star credits. And so those star credits are going to be added to your star consultant total, where you can shop for multiple different prizes. You can save them up or you can get rid of them right away. Personally, I kind of am like a star consultant hoarder, like a point hoarder. And so I typically end up saving all of my points, and then once there's something that I want that's like really big, I will spend them. So you can do that, or you can spend them right away. So that's going to be July and August, and then it's going to start over again September and October, and then they're doing it November, December, and then they're going to assess how that works for everybody, and then maybe continue it or maybe not. So just know that it is subject to change. It could change, but for now, make it your goal. If you want to track that consistency club, you're going to want to do the 600 in both July and August. Okay. So that is first and foremost. There's still plenty of time to rally that. I know a couple of you are working hard on that. And then we still have our other clubs. And so when we hit 20 consultants ordering in the month of July, I will be giving away a $50 product gift card for $50 of products of your choice. Okay, so we are currently 8 orders away from that drawing. And let me double check that that is correct, because it could have changed. So we have an accurate, let's see. So we have an accurate count. Okay. Yes, we are 8 orders away. And congratulations. I'm just going to name off who has ordered so far. We have Shelly Lewis. Okay, let's do On Target 225 Club. And I also posted this in the Facebook group, so you can check your numbers there as well. So On Target 225, we have Sophia Soto, Susan Baker, Kim Davenport, Shelly Lewis, Annie Zemiraj. And then in the 225 Club, which is on target for the 400 Club, we have Carol Shawcroft, Catherine Wiggins, Casey Vollmer, Angela Sikora, Melissa Ceylon. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your last name. Nadine Verna and Deborah Gallegos, and many more to come. I know lots of you are working on your orders, so I really want to do our drawing this month. Super excited. We've been so close every month, so I know we can rally out 8 more orders to finish. Okay, so that is how you can win this month, the next 2 days of the month. And then we have some exciting, obviously, we are right in the middle of the Mary Kay contest, makeover contest. And I know lots of you have had questions about it, so feel free to continue you can pop your questions in the chat. If you have more questions, we can go ahead and go over those. I can answer them as we go. You obviously can also always pop your your questions into our Legends Unit WhatsApp chat group. And if you're not in there, make sure that you just reach out. We can get you added in there as well. Okay. So the Mary Kay Makeover Contest, let's talk a little bit about that. Mary Kay right now is holding a Mary Kay Makeover Contest, and there are 5 grand prize winners where they can win. So the customer and the consultant both win $5,000 cash and $500 in Mary Kay products. So you can enter by multiple different ways. So doing an in-person appointment with your customer with the makeover look. So there's 6 different looks that they can choose from. You can also do it by doing a virtual appointment with your customer, which I know some of you have samples, some of you don't. Samples are limited right now because they are actually discontinuing them, unfortunately, which is a sad thing. But we are working through it and we are just doing our best. So if you still have samples, you of course can set up a virtual time slot with your customer. But if you don't have samples, that is where we come into play, and we are actually offering a virtual option for you and your customers. Okay, so just to kind of give some more information on that. I still have some samples because I had kind of a stockpile of them. So Holly and I both actually kind of took together what we had sample wise and which looks that we can do. And we are offering 4 different dates. Our first one is this Thursday. So that cutoff was actually last week, but there is still plenty of time to invite for the future 3 dates. Okay. So I'm going to pull up this flyer to look at. But this is a virtual option. So if you don't have samples, if you're not doing in person, just get your people invited. Okay. We are going to be doing giveaways between our units. We're going to be doing our own giveaways. So they're not only going to get entered into Mary Kay's contest, but they're also going to get entered into our unit contest, where on a smaller scale, they can earn more prizes. Okay. So you're going to want to make sure to invite your customers. It's such a great way to reconnect with them, especially I know a lot of you have done first appointment with them. You've done lots of facials, even maybe like hydro sessions, but maybe not a makeup look. And so this is a great opportunity to get some of those makeup looks on your customers virtually. So the way that it works is, and let me pull up the flyer, it's loading. Maybe. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so the way that it works, you'll see the 4 different looks that we're offering down here. These are all virtual and they're all going to be in the Beauty Resort Facebook Live group. Okay, so your customer will RSVP for their sample pack. I will be sending out the sample pack to them to get there in time to them. And you are welcome to invite as many as you want. We have kind of a limit, so we have roughly about 30 packs per look, but between our unit, that's probably a pretty average. So I don't foresee them being super sold out very quick, but there still is a limit. Okay, so just know that the faster you invite and the more you invite, the better chance you have for them to get a sample pack. I will be sending those out for you. This one is incomplete, but they will have all of the makeup look on there, the information and everything, and then we have some prices and such on the back. Okay, so they're gonna get their color card for me. This is a different one, but just in case you've never seen kind of what one looks like. So they get the eyeshadows, the blush, the lip color, and then they'll get a custom foundation match and a foundation primer. Okay, these cost $2.85 each to mail out, and so you can just reimburse me, and then that way you're not having to worry about like postage or envelopes or the time that it takes, because it does take time, obviously, to send these out. So all you have to do, literally all you have to do, is just invite your customers. It's that easy. Invite them, send the follow-up messages, and then check back in with them after the event, of course, to close the sale. So your job is super easy, super streamlined. You don't have to worry about like any of it except for inviting, following up, and closing. Okay. And we will help you do some of that too if you're new. So don't worry about that, okay? So they will get their makeup packet in the mail, and then they will join on whichever night that they chose. They will join the makeover session on our Facebook Live group. They will watch the Facebook Live as we teach the tutorial for the look. So the tutorial will be taught by myself, or if Holly can make it on, Holly will also be on. And we'll teach the tutorial of how they can apply the look. They will apply the look in the comfort of their own home, snap a picture, and then you will get them the contest link so that they can enter their picture, and then they will also want to send the picture to you so that you can enter it into our unit contest. Okay, so there's two different contests going. One for Mary Kay, they will have to submit their entry themselves on their end with their picture, and then they'll go ahead and send that same picture to you so that you can enter them into our unit contest. Okay. So the looks are on here with the dates. The RSVP deadlines are firm, and that is so that they can receive their packet on time. Okay, so we obviously have already missed the July 31st deadline. That was last week, but you can still invite for the future 3 events. So you still have until Thursday. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you have until next week. I forget, we're skipping a week. You have until next Thursday, the August 7th, to get your invites in, and people RSVP'd for the rest of August. Okay, so you have time. This is the perfect week to start inviting if you haven't. We have a board, a unit board that you can grab the scripts from. All you have to do is just send them out, send the invites out, and then they can fill out the link to RSVP for their sample pack. Okay, on that sample pack form, they get to choose the look that they want to do with the date, and then they will take the foundation quiz and get their custom foundation color, enter it in there, and then that way we can customize everything on our back end for them. Okay. So our goal is to fully fill these looks to capacity. Like I said, we have roughly about 30 packs per look, maybe a little extra, depending kind of what I have, but so roughly about 30. And so we want to max out all 30. We want to get rid of all 30 sample packs. And so invite as many as you can. Invite them all. And this is going to be great for multiple things. Okay. For one, you're going to be able to have them enter the contest. Okay. 2, if you're not super confident with makeup, or maybe you just don't have the supplies yet, or you haven't really done a lot of makeup, this is a great filler for that. So instead of not participating in the contest because you're not prepared or you're not ready for it, this is a great filler for you to be like, hey, here's how they can still participate. Kind of as like a third party, it's a different option, right? Okay. Then the third thing is that all of the sales, any new team members, any future bookings, those are all going to go to you. Okay. So if you're not familiar kind of with our beauty resort process from a couple years ago when we were doing a lot of beauty resort events, is we hop on, we help you with the appointment, we kind of walk through the tutorial, the marketing, the closing, all of the whole kind of appointment, and then your job with your director is to help to close the sale, book any future bookings if they want to book a party, an interview, anything like that. All of those things go to you. Okay. So if they buy something, it goes to you. If they book a party, that's your party. If they want to sign up, that's your team member. And so it is like working smarter, not harder, and utilizing the services and the events that we are providing for you. If maybe you're just in a busy season of life, maybe you, like I said, maybe you're not prepared with the tools, with the space, with the time. So definitely utilize these events. Okay. And so then last, you're going to get those sales. You're going to start selling product, booking more future things. That's our goal, is to book future appointments, help you sell some product. I have done a handful of them so far this week. And, even on a smaller scale, anywhere from $35 all the way to, I just did a virtual makeover with one of my friends in Alaska. And she literally was like, I want every single thing that we used. And so she's getting a skincare set, microderm set. She's getting everything, the brushes, the whole palette, the lipsticks, the brow tint, the brow liner, the foundation, the primer, like literally everything that you need for a makeup, and the skincare she's buying. So I've had appointments anywhere from $0, $35. I had one the other day for like $85. And now this one, I haven't even totaled up, but it would be like, it's at least over $200, $300. So just by putting the product on people, and that's virtual, she's in Alaska, just by putting the product on people, it's going to sell itself. Okay. So you definitely want to participate in that. If you have questions, definitely reach out. Now, you are welcome to still do in-person makeup appointments. Okay, this is just a separate option. And the way that I would utilize it is I would utilize it as, maybe local people. If you're prepared to do in-person appointments, local people, plan A would be to meet with them in person, because you're always going to be more effective in person. Okay. I would utilize the virtual appointments for people who are obviously out of town, out of state, or for somebody that's local that maybe you just can't connect a good time with. They can't, you girls can't connect on a time. I would say, okay, here's our virtual options. Can you do this? Because sometimes, people have kids, or they get home late, or they're cooking dinner, or they can't leave, or they don't have a babysitter or whatever. So even if they live right down the street, sometimes it's easier to connect with them virtually than it is in person, right? So utilize it as a separate event. I encourage you to still do in-person appointments if you have that option, because both are very great and both serve a very different purpose. I've done a couple in person this week. I've done a couple virtually, and they both are just as great. They're both as fun. Everybody gets the same fun and experience out of it. And, selling the product and booking future things and getting those contest entries. Okay. So that's the makeover contest. The contest ends the last day of August. So August 30th, I believe, is what it is. And so we have the rest of August to get in as many makeovers as possible. Okay. And don't forget the grand prize winner for Mary Kay. When they win, you win. So you also have the choice. The more entries you have more chances to win that $5,000 cash and the $500 in Mary Kay products. Okay. So that is the makeover contest. And then the next thing, so we have a couple extra things, and some of them are TBD. So we're still figuring it out, but mark your calendars for next year, August 14th through 16th. Okay. And it might even be a day or two extra. So maybe just put a tentative like August 13th through 17th ish, because depending on how many people are going and who wants to participate. We might add some dates to that. But Deb and Davan, our national sales directors, are actually having our 4-quarter star party. We're having a beach party at Lake McConaughey. And if you have never been there, it is amazing. It's really nice. It actually has little beachy areas. And then they have like ocean, I call it oceanside, waterfront camping spots, so we can camp there. And we're just going to make a whole weekend of it. Okay. So I believe that they are maybe only doing 1 or 2 days. We don't have the full details yet. But our unit, and I know Holly's unit, and probably a couple of the other girls' unit, like Amy and Yvette and Hannah and those girls, I know that we're going to make a whole thing out of it, and it's going to kind of be our little destination trip. So you're going to want to be a star consultant all 4 quarters. That's how you get invited. And that starts now. Okay. So if you're not a star, if you've never been a star, there is plenty of time. You have all of August. You have 2 weeks in September. The deadline to be a star is the first, for the 1st quarter is September 15th. Okay. So you have basically a month and a half to finish star. The most I ever did to finish star was over $700 wholesale in the last day. So it's totally possible that you can do it. What is that? Oh, so it's totally possible that you can do it in a month and a half. Okay. So you have to be a 1st quarter star in order to be a 4-quarter star. So don't think big picture. Just think, just think the 1st quarter and we're going to get it done, and focus on quarter number 1, and then we can move on to quarter number 2. Okay. But this is going to be so much fun. So many of you have been asking, like, can we go on a trip? Can we go somewhere? Can we go do something? And this is your opportunity. Okay. So we're going to make it a super fun girls weekend, music and food and drinks and camping and the beach and swimming and all the things. Okay. So mark your calendars for now. We will put out more information as it comes out, but just save the dates tentatively, roughly August 13th through the 17th next year. But maybe more realistically, it'll probably be in that 3 to 4 day range. Okay. So be a star. You're going to want to be a star. And then throughout the year, we're going to add extra perks and such to that as well. So where you can earn, maybe your stay or your food or your travel, we'll kind of have some different contests throughout the year for that. Okay. So the last thing that we have, which is super exciting, is we are going back old school Mary Kay, back to a consultant pacesetter. And so if you've ever been like just stuck in your business or confused, or like you don't even know, like you're like, how do I even get started? Or maybe you're like resetting your business. Maybe you're like starting over and you're like, okay, fresh start. Where do I start? This is for you. This is for anybody, seasoned, unseasoned, new, starting over, all of you. This is going to be for you. Okay. And I'm still working on this. Holly actually so graciously shared this with me, but I have not had a second yet to kind of thumb through and adjust a couple things. So I will post, we'll start this August 1st. And I will post the finalized version for you to print by then. Okay. So we have our 2025-2026 playbook, and this is basically going to be everything that you will need to track anything and everything this year. We might have to add to it. We might have to, we might have to adjust as things go on, but for now it's a good start. Okay. So we have in here, we are going back to tracking our skincare customers. Skincare customers is what makes you the money. Okay. When somebody texts you and reorders a repair set and their supplements, and you're making $200-$300 in a text message, that's what we want. Okay. But what that starts with is tracking skincare, selling the skincare, getting the skincare on people. And the more products that they use, you guys, the stronger the customer, the more loyal they are. And guess what? The more they reorder, the more often they order more often, because they have more product they're using and more product that they are going through. Okay. So we have a couple skincare tracking sheets on here so you can track and see what they're using, what they're not using. And then this is a tool that you can use. So let's just say that they're using like these first 5 products here, but they're not using like the charcoal mask or the microderm. That would be a great like upsell for the next time. Or maybe the next time we have like a charcoal mask event, you would want to invite them so that they can try that charcoal mask and try it. Maybe they haven't really had makeup, right? So like they haven't tried any of the makeup. This is the they have all of these skincare products, but they don't have any of the makeup. This is the perfect time to invite them to the makeover so that they can start to build those as well. And when you can have your customers on almost all of these products, even 50% to 75% of these products here listed, you are going to see higher sales. You're going to see more reorders. You're going to see stronger customer loyalty. And you're going to hit those goals. Like you're going to hit Star Consultant. You're going to hit the 600 Club. You're going to earn Princess Court, Diamond Ring. You're going to see that change that happens when you build your customers wide and deep. Okay. And if you've ever been stuck on like, well, I did a facial with her, but like, now what do I do with her? You can look at this sheet and go, well, she doesn't have any of the Hydra Session products. Maybe I should invite her to a Hydra Session. Maybe I should invite her to a makeover. Okay. So it's not only going to help you track what they're using, but it's also going to help you track what they're not using so you know where to invite them next time, right? So we have a Miracle set, a Repair set, and the Mary Kay line where you can track those customers. And then our goal would be to track 100 new customers in 1 year. 100 new skincare customers in 1 year. So they have to buy a skincare set, okay? And I promise you, I guarantee if you sold 100 skincare sets in 1 year, got 100 skincare customers, that you would most likely end up in the Queen's Court of Sales and earn your diamond ring. And I know that sounds crazy, but I did it. I did it the very first year that I earned my diamond ring. I got 111 new customers and I earned my first diamond ring. Okay. And so I know that sounds a little scary, but if you break that down, you guys, that is 8 customers a month. Just 8. That's it. So if you just focused on 8 new customers a month or 2 a week, you could potentially, and of course you're going to have a little bit more than that. Okay. So let's focus on 10 new a month or 15 new a month or whatever. You're going to land yourself in such a great position. Okay. So every 10 skincare customers, you're going to get some recognition. And so even if you're tracking half of this, even if you track 50 or 25, let's just start building you some new customers. Okay. So they have to be new in 2026, a new skincare customer to go on here. Okay. Okay. Now back to us. We sell what we use. Did you know that? If you're not using it, you're probably not selling it because you're not excited about it. You don't know what it feels like. You don't know what it smells like. You don't know what it does. You're not sold out on the product, so you're not sharing it as much. I literally use Mary Kay from head to toe. The only thing that I don't use that isn't Mary Kay is shampoo and deodorant. Everything else I can get from Mary Kay. And toothpaste, of course. I have to get that from the store. But my body wash, my lotion, my fragrances, my sunscreen, my makeup, my skincare, everything. And especially even for men, everything. Bo uses the men's body wash, the men's face wash, the men's cologne. He has a couple other colognes, but we do have them, okay? So you can literally take your whole wardrobe of product that you use at home and then turn it into Mary Kay. And then when you do that, you're going to sell more. The reason I can sell so many things is because I use it. I know what it smells like. I'm excited about it. I could easily sell somebody on the body toning lotion because I love it so much. I can share my favorite perfume because I know which one I use and which one smells good, right? So what I want you to do is fill this out. You're going to send it to me. I want to see everything that you're using on a daily-ish basis. So daily to weekly basis. Okay. Now, when you look at this, you might realize, wow, I really am not using a lot. So what I would recommend is that I would slowly start to build your own product wardrobe so that you can start to sell more of what you use. Okay. So if you see gaps in there, if you're not using our foundation, if you're not using our mascara, our body wash, our lotion, I would start there and start adding the pieces. Of course, I would start with skincare. I would go in order of importance. So like skincare, most important, beauty, makeup, next important, and then body. So if you're not completely full in the skincare line, I would start there, and I would start building that product wardrobe there. Okay. So now here is a customer profile that you can fill out. So you would print one of these for each customer, and you can mark which products that they're using. And then that way, again, kind of like the skincare tracking sheet, you can kind of see the gaps and pieces that they're missing. You can also use this to help you track, in the future, like what products they are using or they're not using, and what colors and shades like that. Okay, so here's different ways to win. And again, this is one of the pieces I kind of have to update just a tiny smidge, not a lot, but you can win monthly, annually. We have our career path that you can move up and earn different prizes, and then Star Consultant quarterly. Okay, so if you're ever wondering, how could I win this month? How could I win this quarter? You can refer back to this page and kind of have an overview of the different ways to win. And then we missed July, so we're going to move right into August. So we have our new August game plan, and this is going to kind of map out what you should be focusing on in August. Okay, so I don't know if you've ever gotten to a month and been like, oh yeah, it's Halloween. I probably should do Halloween. And it's like October 18th, and you haven't prepared anything for Halloween. Or like Christmas, it's like December 3rd, and you're like, oh, I probably should do some Christmas sales. So our hope with this is that this will help you feel prepared, and it'll probably evolve and change. But for the most part, it's kind of a rough draft of compilation of things. But this will kind of help you prepare for things that annually and historically go on every year in August, because the longer you stay in Mary Kay, the more you realize that literally every year, the same month is the same year after year after year. Halloween is always in October. Christmas is always in December. Back to school is always around August, so every year we don't have to change what we do every year. We just have to remember what we did well last year and then repeat it over and over again, because every month is going to be the same next year, right? So you're going to have kind of a strategy. August strategy is back to school. So teachers going back to school makeovers, back to school product sales, back to school bundles, kids going to school, college, they need their skincare, their travel bags, things like that. Okay. So you just get some different ideas there. Lead generating ideas. So this is where you can generate new leads every month. One of my favorite things that I used to do, which I have not really done lately, but I used to do the college campus back to school booth every single year. And surprisingly, I would get anywhere from 150 to 200 leads. And they are college students, so you have to work a little bit differently because they are obviously young and they're broke. And so it is a little bit of a different category of people, right? But I used to do that a lot in my younger Mary Kay years. And then I moved to Pueblo, and every year I say, oh, I'm going to do the back to school booth next year. And then guess what? It gets to August and I forgot to sign up for it, and I forgot to research it. And so our hopes with this is that this will help you figure out or kind of keep a hand on like what is coming up. So you can look forward and kind of see what your strategy for next month would be, or next quarter. Okay. There's also some important dates in here, and then some ideas that you want to run with. So, even though there's lots of ideas, you really should only probably pick 1 to 3, maybe 5 max ideas. And then what are the next steps to support those ideas? So if you want to do the college campus back to school booth, do you need to call, which college are you going to call? Do you need to find the marketing or the event coordinator phone number. If you're going to do back to school makeovers, do you have the supplies that you need? Do you have an invite? Stuff like that, like we can figure out the ideal we want, but then we maybe necessarily don't write down what are the next steps to get there. Okay, so there's your game plan. You will have a game plan for every month. So August, September, October, and we'll kind of do this quarterly. So you'll get the first quarter and then you'll get the next and so on. So you'll have a game plan for that. And then we have a new kind of a tracking sheet. Okay, so this is something that as directors, we kind of have a little map out of like, what are we doing the first day of the month? What are we doing in week 1? What are we doing in week 2? What are we doing at the end of the month? And so, because every month is pretty much the same. And so on the beginning of every month, we are making our contact list. We are making sure our customer binder is set up. We are sending birthday messages. We are making a brain dump. Like we're pretty much doing the same thing on the roughly same day of the month, every month. In the first week, we're typically doing the same thing, right? We are, we're setting our sales goal. We're sending those birthday messages. We're working on our book 5 challenge. Filling in our money management, things like that. And then the next week, okay, now we do customer service. Now we're working on wrapping up some of our mid-month goals. So this hopefully, and I still need to make a couple edits to this, but this hopefully will find you, give you a little bit of peace when you are in the middle of the month and it's like week 2 and you're like, I want to work on something, but I don't even know what I would work on. You can pull this out and you can go, okay, I can work on, let's just say this was July, and it's week 4 and you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to text my customers who haven't used their birthday discount. I'm going to follow up with my facials from this month who did not order, and I'm going to give them an ordering promo because the longer it goes, the less that likely that they're going to purchase, right? I'm going to do a booking blitz. I'm going to do a monthly ordering motto, something like that. So week 4, you could look at that and pull those ideas and then, check. And then you're going to record your wins for the whole month. We'll have different, points and prizes and things like that. I haven't fully figured that out yet, but we'll have that available. A new brainstorm list every month. So we're creating a new brainstorm list to work from. This is always going to kind of be an addition and subtraction. So if you fill it to 50 and then let's say you do 10 invites and 5 of them say yes and 5 of them say no, we're going to mark off the people that say no. We're going to mark off the people we did the appointment with. And so going into next month, if your list is at 40, because you got rid of 10 the previous month, then you just need to brainstorm 10 more faces, okay? So the goal is to keep your brainstorm list always at a revolving 50. So if you lose 8, you gain 8 more. If you lose 25, you find 25 more. And when we consistently have 50 names to work from, maybe it's a lead booth you did, maybe it's a facial box, maybe a warm chatter, maybe a party, when you consistently can have that 50 list to work through, technically you should always be able to have bookings. You should always be able to have appointments to work with, people to work with. And so having this brainstorm list dumped out every month is going to be really helpful for your IPAs, for your booking, for your facials, for your, makeovers, interviews, things like that. Okay. And then we're going to have a full circle program. I probably will, I have a different sheet I might update into this, but we'll see. This is going to just track your faces for the month. And so you can work in a series of 10 faces, 20 faces, or 30 faces. And our goal, if you want to move up the career path, Mary Kay Ash said that a minimum of 30 faces a month is the goal. Okay. If you want to move into like, DIQ directorship, that I would say that's probably roughly 30 faces a month. Okay. Now 20 faces, that'll probably land you right around team leader, red jacket team leader-ish area, okay? And then the 10 faces a month is kind of maintenance of growing your customer base, things like Queen's Court of Sales, senior consultant. That's going to be enough momentum to kind of get you to those areas, okay? So you can choose. You get to choose your level of work. Everybody has a different level of work, and everybody has a different goal. But I want to be clear, and I want to be more I want to have more conversation about what the work actually looks like to achieve some of those goals that you have on your heart. Because I think sometimes we talk a lot about the goal and we don't necessarily know the amount of work that comes with it, right? To become a director, you have to do 30 faces a month or it just doesn't work, right? To become a red jacket, like you need to be doing at least probably 15 to 20 faces a month, okay? And so sometimes we can sit there and go, oh gosh, I really wish I was a red jacket, but why isn't it happening for me? And then you look at your numbers and you're seeing 0 to 5 faces a month. Well, now you just need to increase that facial amount to get to that goal that you actually want, okay? So I want to have more conversations surrounding that this month or this quarter, this year, of what that work actually looks like so that you can assess, am I doing the actual work that it takes to get to that level of goal that I desire, okay? And then we go on to the September game plan and so on. So you'll be able to take this and print it out and work on it as we go. We'll kind of touch base loosely on it throughout the quarter and just kind of different pieces of it. But for the most part, it's just going to kind of be your game plan of tracking the work. I want to be so much more intentional this year, this quarter about the work, right? Because that's what we do. This is a business and we don't achieve goals and we don't just magically earn diamond rings or cars or become a sales director or become a red jacket by not doing the work. Okay. So if you're stuck, if you're frustrated, if you haven't achieved the goal that you wanted to do, I would just say that it just is a shift in your work and you just need to track the numbers better. And personally, I want to be a little bit better about having those conversations about what those numbers look like, okay? Because I don't think we really talk about that enough. We talk about, oh, become a red jacket and, oh, we want you to become a sales director. We want you to be a star consultant, but you might just not know what that actually looks like. And then you don't have like a feasible plan to track, okay? So I hope that was helpful for you. I would love for you to share any questions or comments. And like I said, I will work on getting this out to you so we can hit the ground running August 1st. And then our meetings, I'll try to touch base on different things. And when you turn in your sheet, I would love to do some recognition as well. So I think that is something that could be added back into our routine, is just doing some recognition for the work that you girls have been doing, faces, sales, different things like that. So I'd love to have a way to kind of track that and do some recognition for the well-deserved work that you've done. So happy July, month end of July, 2.5 days left to finish strong. And I'm cheering you on. If I can help you with anything, just let me know. But hope you have a great night and I will see you next week for our meeting on Tuesday. Have a good night. Bye.